Did you know that Cardano's native ADA token, that's ADA, did a 1,285x from its ICO, its initial coin offering, to its all-time high? And once again, Cardano and its ADA token have risen from the dead in a lot of different ways. And after almost a year of going sideways in the 30-cent, 40-cent kind of range, it's now up to about $1. All altcoins are down at the time of this recording, but let's call it $1. It was above $1 also for a long time. And in early December, it even hit the $1.30 mark. That's still quite a ways away, though, from its all-time high of $3.09, but the momentum seems to be building. It seems to be on its way. And there are lots of positive things happening with Cardano at the moment. Its CEO, for example, Charles Hoskinson, is being considered for a U.S. government role. Purportedly, he's in talks with President-elect Donald Trump. Cardano itself may also play a role in voting in the United States in their electoral system. That is big news right there. That's always been really one of the major promises of blockchain. Of course, we treat altcoins like speculative instruments in the financial sense, but they have a lot more potential. And this is one of the big ones, one of the big narratives that Cardano seems to be breaking into. So that's very encouraging. So the idea behind this video is I want to take a closer look at how many ADA tokens you're going to need to become a millionaire if you were to buy them today and hypothetically cash them out at the height of this crypto bull run. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie, and this is Altcoin Buzz. Whether it's Cardano, ADA, or the other altcoins that we discuss, if you choose to invest in any capacity, if you're in the crypto space, then I genuinely wish you well. Just remember that I am not a financial or investment advisor, which also means that by extension, this video is not official financial or investment advice. So for a little bit of context here, let's start with a discussion of Cardano's history and then take a look at some of its latest developments. Okay, so for context, let's first take a look at Cardano and some of its history, also some of its recent noteworthy developments. This allows us to get a bit of perspective here. After that, I'm going to discuss quantitatively and specifically how many ADA you're going to need to become a millionaire. So Cardano has been around since 2017. However, this is a project that can be, I guess, characterized as a slow builder. They take their time, but they have good reason for doing so. Before any upgrade sees the light of day, with Cardano, it goes through a rigorous and exhaustive academic screening process. Cardano's long-term focus is on sustainable scalability and security. Their approach is very scientific. That's how they go about development in terms of methodology as well. And this very much sets them apart from other projects. A lot of hype projects in the space do exist, as I'm sure you know. Cardano is not like that at all. Nonetheless, the team has always been building. Recent upgrades saw, for example, the Voltaire upgrade. This is what introduced a DAO, a DAO, and makes the platform more decentralized. There was also Hydra. This was a scaling solution. Cardano, of course, is spearheaded by Charles Hoskinson. He tends to be known for his controversial takes and opinions. But that being said, he's got a great reputation. He's also one of the original Ethereum founders. So he certainly has the right credentials. And it's interesting to see a change in his approach to other chains. Before, he kind of liked to stir things up, and he seems to be looking more toward cooperation these days. For example, a famous quote by Hoskinson is that the industry doesn't need Bitcoin anymore. Quote, "I just don't see how that survives. It's a religion. It's not an ecosystem. So no, we don't necessarily need Bitcoin." And then just fast forward to today, we have Cardano effectively becoming a Bitcoin layer. So things have changed. Not too long ago, Hoskinson even showed some love for Sui. And so all of this represents a very positive development. Plus, the new Trump administration is also eyeing Cardano and Hoskinson. Trump is actually considering a blockchain-based federal voting system. And Cardano and Hedera, ticker HBAR, HBAR, are currently in pole position for this. And again, this has always been one of the major promises of blockchain, right? Full transparency, the ability to audit, right? This is something that lends itself quite perfectly as a technology to transparency in elections and in voting systems. Hoskinson himself is actually in talks with Trump. An advisory position in the new government for him is on the table right now. And so providing all of this goes ahead, Cardano's future looks very bright at the moment. But there's also a whole lot more going on. The Cardano ETF, for example, there's a whole rumor mill right now that's working overtime. And then on top of that, Cardano's TVL, total value locked, has also seen a serious increase. It ranged from about $198 million to $695 million in just 1 month's time. So look, in a nutshell, there are lots of positive developments happening with Cardano, suffice it to say. The current price development seems to be a little bit unfortunate today as I record, but we're just barely at the beginning of this trend. We're well away from the end of things, and there's a lot more runway to go here. This Altcoin Buzz Spotlight video is sponsored by Rootstock, and they want you to start using Bitcoin Layer 2s and the great DEXes that they have in their network. Rootstock is building like crazy, and there are many great apps, lots of protocols, and DEXes in their ecosystem now. And they're making it easier to try them now than ever before. And so we're very excited to announce the Rootstock DEX trading competition. Happening now through the end of the month, the Oku, Sushi, and WoodSwap DEXes are going to each pay out $15,000 for a total of $45,000 RIF, that's RIF prize pool, in this DEX trading competition. Here's what you need to do if you want to get your share of the prize pool. Number 1, pick your favorite of those 3 DEXes that I mentioned. Number 2, pick one of the 3 eligible trading pairs. These pairs are Rootstock's native RIF RBTC, ETH RBTC, or RBTC RUSDT. That's the Rootstock Bridged USDT. Number 3, start trading. The DEX is going to be tracking your transaction count and your swap volume. Number 4, track yourself on the leaderboard right here. And number 5, get your rewards when you're done. And here are also a couple of cool extra features. There are weekly incentives for one of the 3 trading pairs. It's kind of like a contest within a contest, and you can win $1,000 each week from each of those DEXes. 2/3 of the prize pool, or $10,000, goes to the top 100 traders on each DEX in swap volume. And then the other $5,000 goes to the top 100 traders in transaction count. And each DEX counts this. So you can win on more than one DEX and increase your chances of winning. So try Oku, Sushi, or WoodSwap today, or if you want all 3, and trade your way to part of this $45,000 prize pool from Rootstock. Check out the link in the description of this video below for more details. So right now, the price of Cardano's token ADA is down double digits on the day, down over 12% on the day. We're sitting at 90 cents as I record. That's unfortunate, but that's the way the market has been in these last 24 hours or so. For context, though, ADA had its really low point about 4 years ago at 2 cents. We're not going to go back anywhere near that territory, in my opinion. But we should look at the more recent support levels, especially the 33-cent range. However, a recent support level is the 33-cent range. On the 5th of November, ADA left this support and hasn't looked back yet. So even though the price of ADA today is at about 90 cents, down pretty significantly on the day along with other altcoins, like I said, the recent high in recent weeks is $1.30. It reached that on the 3rd of December. And once this current dip that we're experiencing passes, realistically, ADA's next goal is to slowly creep up to that all-time high that it previously set. Again, that was $3.09. That happened on the 2nd of September, 2021. And although it's still about 70-75% away from that mark, I can see that target being hit probably sooner than later. Not this year, but in 2025, I think it's realistic to assume that new all-time highs are going to be possible for Cardano. And once it reaches the current all-time high, beyond that, really, it's uncharted territory. As we know, all of that becomes price discovery. And yes, there are going to be some pullbacks along the way. It's not a straight line between here and the next all-time high. It's very volatile and very jagged. That's to be expected. However, I see these kinds of volatile conditions as healthy corrections. The market needs this kind of stuff, even in a bull run, so don't be too intimidated by that. So how many ADA tokens do you need to be a millionaire at the height of this bull cycle? In other words, if you were to sell them at the peak, at the top, at the all-time high, whatever that is, how many would you need to have today in your possession to be able to make that transaction and become a millionaire? Well, there are lots of bullish arguments that obviously support Cardano as a project. We've touched on a few here, especially, of course, Charles Hoskinson's role in the new incoming Trump administration. That fuels a lot of excitement, and deservedly so. But then there's also the potential use of Cardano as a blockchain in the federal voting process. We've talked about this. Then we also have recent updates, so like the Voltaire upgrade that brings decentralization to Cardano, also Hydra, that's the scaling solution. Both of these add to those bullish arguments, but ultimately we have to crunch the numbers here. How many ADA do you need to become a millionaire? So like I said, the price of ADA today sits at about 90 cents. That's down 12-13% on the day. Let's just, for the sake of easy calculations, round the price up to $1. ADA has been at $1. It's been above $1, but let's just assume the price of ADA today is $1, just for the sake of basic arithmetic here. If every ADA token is $1, then of course you need 1 million ADA to be a millionaire, right? No surprise. But that's at today's prices. If we consider the all-time high, $3.09, we'd have to divide $1 million by $3.09. And that would give us the number of tokens we need, in that case, for that price, 330,000 ADA. But let's look at the more optimistic scenario here and assume that down the line, ADA could hit $10, $10 for every ADA token. That means, if you crunch the numbers here, basic math, $1 million divided by a $10 token price, that would mean that you'll need 100,000 ADA tokens. And then similar math, if ADA goes even higher, let's say $15, we divide $1 million by 15, 66,666 ADA. And again, if we're talking about $1 per ADA today, for the sake of simplicity, 66,666 ADA today would cost about $67,000. And that's the idea, right? With the right price appreciation, with the maturation of this project on a whole, theoretically, if you're patient enough, you can invest about $67,000 today for 67 or so thousand ADA tokens and have that be worth $1 million someday. Let me know what you think the price of ADA is going to be in the future. Let's narrow it down. Let's say perhaps your prediction for this particular bull cycle, $10, $15. Is that realistic? Is that too optimistic? Maybe it's too pessimistic. Cardano's making a big comeback in a big way for a lot of the reasons that we talked about. So I don't think it would be totally impossible for it to go even beyond that. But I like to harness the wisdom of the crowds when possible. Let me know where you think the all-time high for ADA, for Cardano, is going to land in this particular bull cycle. Do let us know in the comments below.